Well, hey there, Diet Disruptors. Carrie here, and welcome to another episode of Diet Disruptors Podcast. This is going to be one that is very timely, I think. Do you remember the commercial it was for an insurance company, I believe, and it was MAYhem? The guy that was MAYhem, and he showed up and just caused mayhem in your life. I was reminded of this commercial recently. And as we are just starting off the month of May, it was recently that this commercial was brought to my attention. And I remember watching it. It was years ago. I don't even remember how long ago. And it was always just creative. And I thought it was always just really funny. And it hit me as May was starting that we are in mayhem. And what is mayhem? Well, in our lives as women, as mothers, as professionals, as wives, as one that does all the things, May is filled with mayhem. May brings out the mayhem of our low self-esteem. You know why? Because bathing suit corner is right around, or bathing suit season is right around the corner. And just like those commercials where mayhem shows up, our low self-esteem shows up. And we're eyeing every other body on the beach while we're on vacation or thinking about it, right? Because May is when we're closing out on school and we know summer vacation and summer planning is starting. And we think about having to get into a bathing suit and comparing our body to everyone else. Low self-esteem shows up in May, right? And then what about summer planning? You have all these plans for what you're going to do with the time that you have with your kids. Maybe you're taking off if you're working Mondays and Fridays so you could spend them with your kids. And you have all this time and these planners and activities. Recognize that if you go back to years past, and as someone that is now through this season, because my kids are now going to college, I mean, all the plans, right? I was going to take care of myself and take care of the kids, and I was going to work. And it just felt like summer was going to be this time where I was going to be able to do it all. And then whatever, something happened. And I always think about in this season where, especially when I was a teacher, it was like, oh, this summer I'm going to have so much time and I'm going to get my nutrition on par. I'm going to cook. We're going to have fresh salads. And then it was like, wait a minute. In the middle of summer, I just wanted to have extra wine and I wanted to just have fun. And I didn't want to have to think about my nutrition. And I would, although I wanted to lose weight, just chaos happened. And it starts in May because May is this transitional month. May is the month right before June when school is starting to wind down. The kids are getting, excited about summer. You're getting excited about summer. And magic can happen in May, or mayhem can happen in May. And so we're going to talk about a few things that you can do to control the mayhem as you get entering and starting into summer. And what I'm really excited about, and I'll kind of give you a little spoiler alert right now, is that next week, if you're listening to this as we're running this, next week on May 14th, I decided I am going to dig deeper into this, and we are going to teach you in a 1-hour challenge how to control the mayhem of your life as you enter into summer. We're even going to be giving away for everybody that shows up live a summer survival guide with all sorts of tools and recipes and planning things and just all sorts of stuff that we've never done before on how to enter into the season of life that feels purposeful, that feels just driven in meaning and still allows you to show up for yourself Why do I say that? Well, I remember when somebody once said to me when my kids were probably like, I don't know, 14 years old, 13 and 14, that you only have, 18 summers with kids. And then by the time my kids were 13 and 14, I realized I only had like 4 more left. And I got urgent and freaked out and scared. And when we work in that kind of moment, oh my gosh, we don't have a lot of time left. Or when things feel crazy and chaotic, the first thing we do is put ourselves on the back burner. It's the first thing we do. And yet, every single new season that happens, whether it's summer, whether it's fall, whether it's the holidays, whatever it is, we keep thinking, after I get through this, then I'm going to take care of myself. After I get through this, then I'm going to take care of myself. And the problem is, how many years have you been saying that? When summer comes, I'm like, wait, I got to spend time with my kids. I don't have a lot more time left. But with every season that passes, we are losing opportunities to be able to not just care for others in a way that's meaningful, but because we are not showing up for ourselves consistently, regardless of the season, A, we will always find an excuse and we will never actually do it. And B, we aren't making the most of the time that we could be spending with our family, because the healthiest version of us has more energy, doesn't have as many cravings, doesn't have like freak out moments, right? Like we're not freaking out on our kids, we're not freaking out on our spouses. We actually have a more balanced life that brings us more joy when we are showing up for ourselves. I know it seems crazy because how can we? But I promise you, this is going to be, this mayhem, this May is going to be the start of you learning how to have a season and to walk into a new season that's meaningful, purpose-driven, fun, and balanced, that also includes you showing up for you. And what I mean by that is not going on another diet, but learning what your body needs, what your mind needs, and how to do it forever. So I have 5 tips for you today as we think through the mayhem of May, moving into this season of summer, of what we can do to be in front of it so that we make the most of this time and we do not continue to put ourselves on the back burner. Before I get into these 5 tips, I want to tell you a little bit. I'm going to do a whole podcast on this because this really hit me. But my daughter Grace is a performer, and the other day she actually performed at a nursing home. It was one of the most beautiful experiences of my life to see my 19-year-old girl with her sweet, beautiful voice singing for the residents of this nursing home, most of whom were in their mid 70s to mid 90s. That's really the range, but most were about 80 to 83. All of them required other people to care for them. And most were not mobile. Most were in wheelchairs, and many had dementia. And Grace's beautiful voice was just gave them a whole new lease on life. And it was just really special, where some of the staff came up and said, this is going to make their year. And as much as I loved every minute of watching it and seeing it, there was also a part of me that said, gosh, it doesn't have to be this way. We often think that it's just inevitable. We get old and we're going to hurt and we're not going to be able to have the quality of life that we have right now. And it's just the way it goes. But yet we know so much more now about aging and about what's possible, about longevity and about living longer, but not just living, actually thriving. But what we do right now will matter in terms of what happens then. We can't keep putting life in front of us because it will take over. And then the joy comes from being in a convalescent home when a 19-year-old girl is singing. That's not where I want my life to end, or that to be what I am most looking forward to in the year. In order for me to be able to pick up my great grandchildren when I'm 80, I want you to hear this. In order for me to be able to pick up a 25, 30-pound kid when I'm 80, I have to be able to pick up and walk with 50 pounds now. If I want to be able to get in and out of my car without trouble when I'm in my 80s, I need to be able to squat and to deadlift now. If I want to be able to walk to my mailbox or down the road, I need to be able to hike a mountain now. We won't be able to do it later. We have to focus on today and showing up so that we aren't living in a life where other people have to take care of us in order to just stay alive. That's not my goal. Staying alive is not my goal, but thriving, dying younger later. And if life just keeps showing up every season after every season, and you just keep putting off you, then that's going to be your life and your truth. And I want so much more. Now, for every senior, every resident in a nursing home, we should be spending our time loving on them, caring for them. They told me that this was the youngest performer they ever had. They usually have older people coming in to perform, and that just made Grace so happy to be so valued. There were women and men that had severe dementia that were singing along with her because they knew the words to the songs, because they triggered a memory that was there. We are living, breathing humans. And even when we are older and physically unable, even mentally unable, there's still a spark there. I don't want you to ever get to that place where it's so hard to find that spark. So I digress, but I think that message was important because it is about your why being big. See, for so many of you, if it's just about losing weight, you know it's going to be miserable and it's going to be hard because you've done the dieting thing so many times and you know you're not going to lose 40 pounds by tomorrow. So you just might as well screw it and say, let me just have fun with the kids over the summer and just deal with it in the fall. But in the middle of this month, right now, in this transition of moving into summer, I want us to figure out how are we going to focus on showing up for ourselves. It is the most important thing we can do. So we've got to think about it and we've got to do something different. You may want change, but wanting, hoping, and dreaming is never going to do it. Only action creates change. I'm going to say that one more time. You can put it in the comments if you're watching me live. Only action creates change. So I'm going to give you 5 action items that I want you to start thinking about how you can do over the month of May. And in the month of May this year is a long month. We got 5 weekends. We are all about 1% progress. So you could take all 5 of these and just do 1 a week and get yourself ready for June and for summer. And don't forget, next week, we're going to do our 1-hour challenge on managing the mayhem. So let's get into it first. The first thing you're going to start working on is you're actually going to fuel your body. No more going all day long without eating. No more having coffee in the morning and battling through hunger. And no more, even if you are not feeling hungry, that is not a win. Because that just means your body doesn't believe you're going to give it what it needs, so it stops yelling at you. Hunger is your body speaking to you, telling you, hey, we need to be fed. And if you've been ghosting your body, then it's going to just stop messaging you. And so one of the most important things that you can do, and you may feel like I don't have time to do this. I promise you, you fuel your body right, you will have more energy. You will be in a better mood and you will sleep better. You will feel better and you can manage stress better. What do I mean by fuel your body? We call it PFC3, protein, fat, and carb every 3 hours. What? Yeah. You're going to eat within an hour of waking up, believe it or not. And you are going to eat protein, fat, and carb every 3 to 4 hours. You can have amazing recipes. And we've got tons of recipes. You can go to disruptivenutrition.com/recipes and go get on our wait list for our recipe subscription. I'll send you a bunch of recipes right now. Get into this 1 hour live challenge and you're going to have your summer survival guide and you're going to get recipes there. Make extra, have them for meals the next day. Because if you do the math, you're going to eat 5, 6, maybe 7 times a day. Have a protein shake or a protein bar for a couple of the meals. Have a grab and go. Like I just had turkey, almonds, and an apple. I mean, that's boring as all get out, but it's easy, especially when you're running around with mayhem. But when you fuel your body every 3 to 4 hours based on hunger, you are going to start to boost your metabolism, which boosts your energy. And the more, keep in mind, protein, fat, and carb, those are macronutrients. They were actually meant to be eaten together. When you do that, you balance your blood sugar. When you balance your blood sugar, you put your body in homeostasis. What's homeostasis? Balance. Balance physically, balance emotionally, and balance hormonally. I mean, if I could say to you, I can give you one strategy that will balance your hormones, give your body what it needs to be able to reach the goals that you've always wanted diets to do and give you more energy and make you feel better emotionally, you'd be like, give it to me. What's the magic pill? Fuel your body, balance your blood sugar every 3 hours, protein, fat, and carb. And how are you going to do that when life is chaotic? Well, this is what's so important and it's almost like non-negotiable. You know how like, would you ever just not brush your teeth during the day or, all day? Would you ever not get dressed? No, those are non-negotiables in your life. Well, eating to fuel your body has got to be a non-negotiable. And it's really not hard. I spend 15 minutes on a Sunday. I Instacart protein, fats, and carbs. And I look at the meals that I'm going to make through my recipes and I make sure I have the ingredients. They're puzzle pieces. Get yourself 15 minutes on a Sunday for Instacart. If you don't have Instacart, you're going to the grocery store anyway. Get your proteins, get your fats, get your carbs, and just start little bits at a time. This is why we have our Diet Disruptor Squad Facebook group, because you can ask questions about it. Get into my hour-long challenge to get more information about it. We have tons and tons of podcasts about this. Okay. It is a fundamental way of fueling your body that is not a diet and that is unbelievably powerful. And when you have the right puzzle pieces in your house, you're not running through the drive-through. When you have a protein bar, oh my goodness. Oh, when you have a protein bar in your bag, you're not going to just battle through hunger only to have your blood sugar in a complete roller coaster, which will cause all sorts of chaos in your body and your mindset and your energy. You're going to have a protein bar in there and you're running. Great. You're fueled. You're going to feel so much better. All right. Super fast, super simple. Okay. Number 2. This strategy is literally the one that changes lives the most. I don't care what time you get up, but if you can get up 15 minutes earlier and spend 15 minutes with yourself, have a cup of coffee, do a devotional, and plan out your intentions for the day. And I'm going to use 2 words that's going to help you more than you can imagine. Time blocking. If you take a look at your calendar, like what you have to do on your to-do list, whatever it is, whether you're with the kids, whether you're working, whether it's home stuff, whether it's exercise, it's like an appointment and you put it on your calendar. Of course, you need margin in there. You can't do everything, but you can do the big rocks, moving your body, taking care of your family, taking care of your work, sleep. Get those down in your calendar and spend every single morning looking at it and just looking at the day ahead. That's it. You don't even have to look beyond that. And then the next morning, reflect on the day before and then figure out what you're doing that next day. Just that act. It can be more nuanced than that. And when we work with our clients, we get deep into morning time. But just spending a few minutes with yourself will give you such intensive clarity. And because you're going day to day, you don't have to worry about anything beyond today. You can reflect on the day before and then start a whole new day. All right, so fuel your body, morning time, exercise. Movement is life. A body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. How can you challenge yourself throughout the month of May to say, I am going to move my body in some way for 15 minutes a day? No more than that to start. And what I mean by moving your body might be a day of walking, might be a day of stretching, might be a day of lifting some weights or body weights. If you're already working out, great. Continue to make sure you're finding a way to move your body every day. Now, those of you that are obsessed with working out, if you're on the other side of the spectrum, remember that could actually be putting your body at a deficit and detrimental if you're not fueling your body correctly. Okay. But for those of you that feel like you don't have enough time to exercise, I am just saying to you, something is better than nothing. Consistency over time matters. I want you to think about this. You can't, like when you think about anything in life, you like brushing your teeth. You can't on the first of every month just sit there and brush your teeth for 2 hours and say, I'm good. I don't have to brush my teeth for the rest of the month. Doesn't work like that. You have to brush your teeth for 2 minutes in the morning and the evening every day. That's how you are going to maintain healthy gums and not get cavities and keep your teeth white. Little bits all over. And so you don't have to do a great big workout that you only really feel like you have time for, like never. And the one day that you're motivated, you go to the gym for 2 hours, it's not going to do anything. If you could do 15 minutes a day, it's going to do way more than spending a few times a month at the gym for an hour. All right? 15 minutes a day. So fuel your body, morning time, exercise. And this fourth one is a mindset and an action. Remember, I said only action creates change. A mindset of gratitude throughout the day will change everything and how you approach the day. So if you are feeling like, oh my gosh, like life is so chaotic, the kids are crazy, work is nuts. If you can have a mindset of, I have a job, I have kids, I have time with them, it is a beautiful day, whatever it is, it's going to shift your mind. And this isn't just like hokey pokey, feel good kind of stuff. This is actual brain science. Remember, you guys, I was a behavior specialist. You start to filter out your brain in a very specific way when you practice the act of gratitude, and your brain actually starts to look at things in your life differently, and you respond differently, you think differently, and you stress differently. So a mindset of gratitude. Now, I said it was 2 ways. It was a mindset and an action. While you are in morning time, you actually write out 3 things that you are grateful for that will springboard your mindset of gratitude. In Disruptive Nutrition and our clients, we teach time management. We teach morning time. We have a whole planner pad system, which is so incredible and powerful. If you ever want to learn a little bit more about it, we have a mini course on time management, and it goes through all of this stuff. But here's the basics. Getting yourself into this act of gratitude during morning time is going to springboard you. So fuel your body, morning time, exercise, gratitude. And the 5th one encompasses everything that we need and how we will truly control mayhem. It is what is called a growth mindset. We have two types of mindsets, and all of us have both, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that certain truths are truths and cannot be changed. A fixed mindset believes that things either cannot get better or that things are inevitably just victimized for them. So that you are a victim of your circumstances, that you don't really have control, and that things aren't going to be any different. Now, we all have fixed mindsets about certain things, but when we have a growth mindset, when we actually approach problems, we approach situations, we approach general life with this mindset that there's something to learn from it and that there's a way to look at it that actually could be empowering instead of disempowering. When we have a mindset of growth versus a mindset of frustration and scarcity and just the overall feeling that things are the way they are, it changes everything in how you handle the curveballs. When curveballs come at us, those of us with a growth mindset, we can hit them. When curveballs come at us, when we have a disempowered fixed mindset, we get bowled over by them. And it feels impossible to be able to do anything productive, to be able to feel like you could possibly take care of yourself. Our thoughts and our beliefs, they dictate our actions. And if actions create change, then our thoughts and beliefs have to change first. Because if thoughts and our beliefs dictate our actions will never change if our thoughts and our beliefs aren't the first thing we start thinking about. So, fuel your body, morning time, exercise, gratitude, and your mindset. These are the 5 pieces that if you can start to tap into them little bits at a time over this month, you are going to enter the summer season empowered, focused on what is right and what matters, on putting your own oxygen mask first so that you can put on others and save others, be with others, and be your best self for others. So I'm hoping this gives you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of plan, but your next step is to go ahead and sign up for our 1-hour live challenge that's next week. We'll put a link in the comments or in the post, and make sure that you register to be able to do the mayhem. This summer is going to enter in totally different than any other. Go ahead and put in the comments what you're taking from this, and put in the comments signed up if you end up signing up for my 1-hour challenge on May 14th. Can't wait to see you there.